Over the last few years, the fitness industry has absolutely exploded. Along with that is the supplement industry, making over $60 billion a year in revenue. And making up almost 30% of that $60 billion is Walmart supplements. So now you can get groceries, pre-workout, and protein all in one Walmart run. The question in today's video is going to focus on the pre-workout supplements. 10 years ago, you'd be lucky if you could find 2 different pre-workouts in the supplement aisle at Walmart. But now, they have a ton of different options. So I decided to travel on down to my local Walmart and buy the cheapest and most expensive pre-workouts I could find. So today I am testing the extremes. First up, we have the 6-star pre-workout Explosion 2.0. I don't know who's giving out these stars, but it's definitely not Michelin. 6 stars sounds like the rating that your girl gave me after last night's performance. Out of 100. Bruh. 6 stars. Because 5 wasn't average enough. Oh, this entire tub of 30 servings was less than $18, coming out to 60 cents per serving. The question is, can it hang with the big dogs in the industry? Which brings me to the next pre-workout, the most expensive pre-workout option at my local Walmart, the Rise Loaded Pre. This tub was $40 and has 30 servings, which brings it to $1.33 per serving, which is twice as much as the cheapest pre-workout. The only thing left to do is try both of these pre-workouts and rank them based on taste, pump, focus, and energy. So, let's do it. All right, in order to make this fair, we only can do 1 scoop of this stuff, so doesn't smell that bad, so. If you don't use a little hand frother as a mixer for your pre-workout, you're missing out. It smells like something familiar, I don't know what. Okay, hear me out. Kinda tastes like those Kool-Aids that you would get in those plastic bottles that have those weird like little tops on them that you have to twist and kind of like rip off the top. It's kind of nostalgic. It really doesn't taste like really good, but it doesn't taste bad. It's just got a little bit of nostalgia going on, so I kind of like it. And like consistency wise, I'm not getting any like little dry bits or like nothing's grinding in my teeth or anything. Kind of tastes good. I mean, every sip it's growing on me a little bit and a little bit more, so. All right, we're gonna drink this down, probably give it about 20 minutes, and then we're gonna hit legs and arms. All right, so we just finished the pre-workout. At the bottom of the cup, there was no like, you know, grimy, dusty anything. So pretty surprised by the flavor and consistency. Overall, I'm gonna give that a 4 out of 5. Pretty good, especially for the price. We just finished 1 serving of the cheapest pre-workout at my local Walmart. I can already start to feel a little bit of that beta-alanine itch going on, so that's definitely a good sign. So it's not overdosed with anything, but 1 scoop is still giving me that kind of itchy, tingly feeling that you normally get with that beta-alanine. I know some people absolutely hate that stuff, but it does kind of notify and signify my body that it is time to work out. So it's time to find out where this ranks on energy, focus, and pump. So let's get the workout going and find out. All right, first up, we're gonna hit some leg press on the Smith machine, so let's get it. All right, we're feeling pretty good, feeling pretty locked in, as the kids say, so it's time to hit the first working set of leg press. So let's go ahead and get into it. I am definitely feeling the beta-alanine more so than I definitely thought I would, because I've taken way higher doses of beta-alanine, but it could be a different composition or how it's directed to get into your body. Couldn't tell you why, but I'm feeling it. So not a bad thing. Time to hit some dumbbell incline curls. I like to go real heavy on the first bicep and tricep movement of the workout. So we have 45 pounds for the incline curls, lower reps, high intensity. Let's get it. All right, so we're gonna do a couple more sets, let the pump, focus, and energy kind of marinate a little bit, see if anything fades throughout the workout, gets better, gets worse, and we'll have a better judgment of what's going on. So I'm gonna hit some more sets, and then I'll let you know how I'm feeling. I don't wanna confirm or deny any predictions, but we just finished the first set of leg press and incline bicep curls, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. And honestly, I really wasn't expecting to, but keeping an open mind, we're gonna continue to push through this workout and see if those feelings change over time, if the energy starts to drop, if I start to become not quite as locked in, and how the pump is progressing. So let's get it. Alrighty, so the next set of workouts we have is lying hamstring curls and overhead tricep extensions on the cable machine. So let's get it. Alrighty, so next up we have some leg extensions and some Bayesian cable curls. We're keeping the leg weight nice and heavy in a 8 to 15 rep range. And now for the bicep and the tricep exercises going forward, we're gonna slightly drop the weight, try and increase the rep range closer to that 15 rep mark, maybe even a little bit beyond that, and just increase the intensity. That way, as we're going through the workout and as we're losing a little bit of that initial strength that we had, we can still get closer to failure by dropping the weights just a little bit. Couldn't tell you if that's optimal enough, but it has helped me not get injured and stay really consistent in the gym for these last few months. So let's do it. All right, little update before we get into the last couple workouts here. So probably about 10 minutes or so, I noticed that I feel absolutely no beta alanine tingle. I would say maybe 30-ish minutes into the workout. We're probably about 45 minutes into the workout now. I kind of noticed that it wasn't there anymore. But at the tail end of when I was feeling it, if I started to work out mid-set, I could feel that tingle, right? And it kind of pushed you through that set. As of now, completely gone. Don't feel anything during the working sets or anything like that. So beta alanine is completely gone at this point. I still feel pretty focused. I would say the energy is starting to kind of dissipate a little bit. And we'll talk about the pump at the end. So we're gonna hit some JM press on the Smith machine, finish up the last couple sets of the Bayesian cable curls, do this as kind of like a superset, and we'll call it there and see how we're feeling. I feel like a few months back, I saw a Jeff Nippard, Mike Israetel collab where they did like a modified JM press. And I started doing this thing where I would take my just standard bar, put pretty light weight on it and do skull crushers. And then once I felt too fatigued to do skull crushers, I would transition to almost like a guillotine press and do like a modified JM press where I was just going like a little bit up and a little bit down to go to like that fully stretched position to really just push past failure from the skull crushers. It wasn't necessarily to try this new exercise, it's just a way that I found to kind of, you know, do sets beyond failure essentially and just kind of push past like plateaus and help me progress in these skull crushers themselves. And then recently I started to do the JM press as a single tricep exercise on the Smith machine and I really like it. So I'm just gonna stick with it for a while until I'm tired of doing it or until it completely kills my wrist. I can tell that my wrists do not like it, so. Pretty close grip. Come down kind of like to your neck. You just feel this disgusting stretch. Try and push up from there without flaring your elbows too much. I got the AC and the fans cranking in here, but it is peak heat outside. Nice early summertime for us Floridians. And the garage is a nice humid and warm spot to get some killer workouts and start breaking a sweat. What we're all here for, the ratings on the 6-star pre-workout. So let's talk about it. First up, we're gonna talk about energy. And honestly, I'll admit, I was kind of surprised by the amount of energy that I was getting from this pre-workout. One scoop only has 160 milligrams of caffeine. Caffeine is kind of how I judge energy for pre-workouts. If it has more caffeine, I assume that it will give me more energy. Logically speaking, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But I feel like I got more than 160 milligrams worth of energy from this pre-workout. There could be other ingredients in here that attributed to that. It does have an electrolyte mix in here, so maybe getting a little bit better of hydration going into the workout could have helped fuel a little bit more energy throughout the entire workout. In the beginning of the workout, I felt good. I felt like I had just taken pre-workout and I was ready to pretty much attack any of the exercises. As the workout went through and I felt my energy levels dwindling just a little bit, I didn't have like a hard crash. I still feel pretty energized to this moment. It just wasn't crazy throughout the entire thing, and it did have a little bit of a drop off during the actual workout. So as far as energy goes, I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 stars. I was a little disappointed because it says that there are 30 servings in the bottle, but the amount of caffeine, beta-alanine, L-citrulline, and the electrolyte mix that they have on here is actually for 2 scoops. So that would make the entire container only 15 servings, which doesn't make it as good of a bargain deal, and that's why I only took 1 scoop. I wanted to see if 30 servings for a really cheap pre-workout would get you a good amount of energy. And honestly, 3 out of 5 is pretty good for how cheap this is. All right, so next, let's talk about the focus. For as low as the doses are in this pre-workout, I was locked in for the entire workout. I still feel locked in. I was in a good mood the entire time. I wasn't, drifting off into other thoughts. I wasn't sitting on my phone scrolling or anything like that. I was locked in and focused through the entire workout. I can't say that it's the best focus I ever had, but it is definitely in the top tier of pre-workout focuses that I've experienced. And I don't know if it's just because I'm filming this video and I'm trying to really focus on how I'm feeling during the workout, but the only way that I can judge it is on how I felt today. And honestly, I felt really focused. So I'm gonna give it 4.5 out of 5 stars for focus. I know some of you might think that's crazy, but honestly, that's just how I felt. I don't know if there's a single ingredient in here that's supposed to help you focus, but honestly, I felt really focused. So I can't say that I didn't. And the last one, the pump, the most important of them all. Just kidding. I feel like the most important for me is probably energy when I take a pre-workout. The reason that I'm taking pre-workout is because I don't feel like I have enough energy to go to the gym. But one of the great benefits of taking a more expensive pre-workout is you get a ton of L-citrulline and other pump targeted ingredients in there. And the effect is more effective blood flow, your muscles feeling more pumped. You look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, damn, I look good. So does this pre-workout give you that crazy pump that you're looking for? I trained biceps and triceps today. Probably one of my favorite things to train because I get disgusting pump in my arms, and my arms are one of my best features. I also trained legs today, but on judging a pump, it's easier to judge it on your arms because my legs kind of suck. So let's talk about the pump. I didn't really notice anything crazy throughout the entire workout, and especially at the end when I was doing biceps and triceps as kind of like a super set, that's when I get the most disgusting pump. During the actual workouts, I was still getting that great stretch and contraction feeling. The exercises themselves felt really good, but I didn't get that skin tightening pump that I get when I do biceps and triceps and take a very pump focused pre-workout. Normally it feels like my skin is like super duper tight and my muscles are super swollen. And these are the workouts that I normally do for arms. So I should be getting that if it has sufficient pump ingredients. And honestly, I just didn't get that. So for pump, honestly, I have to put this at 1 out of 5 stars. It's not necessarily about the ingredients themselves, which I think contributed to how I was feeling, but it's more so about how my body feels right now. And honestly, the pump is just non-existent, and I should be kind of pumped to the gills, at least for my arms. Even though the energy and the pump was on the lower end for a pre-workout, overall I was still pretty impressed by this. For $18 and 30 servings, this goes a long way. Not too shabby, 6 star.
6 star? More like 3 star.
Alrighty, so it's time to try out the Rise Loaded Pre. We have the tropical punch flavor, and we're gonna see how it tastes. Beefy size scoop there. So I'm pretty sure that yesterday I said that the other one tasted like one of those like Kool-Aid little plastic container things. I don't want to say they taste similar. They kind of do. They're both pretty good, honestly. I mean, this one does taste good, and it does remind me of Kool-Aid, so. I can't say it's the best pre-workout flavor I've ever had, but it is definitely up there. It is pretty good. I'll give this 4 out of 5 stars. All right, we are going to sit and consume our pre-workout, and then we're gonna get to it. Is that crazy for me to say that they taste pretty similar? They're neck and neck right now, so. But with the amount of caffeine and pump ingredients in this one, it should have a clear edge, so. We'll have to see what the workout tells. Alrighty, so first set we are doing some push-ups with these parallettes we have here. Nice deep stretch, good contraction. We're gonna get a sick pump. And yeah, we're gonna superset this with some bent over rows on the Smith machine. So let's get it. Beta alanine is kicking in, and yeah, we're feeling good right now. Let's do it. All right, first set of workouts is complete, so let's do a little check-in on how we're feeling. Beta alanine tickle is still there, and it's all over my body now, so it's creeped down to the lower half of my body as well. Push-ups felt good, the rows felt good. Not getting a crazy pump or anything, but starting to get a pump already, so I like the feeling of it. The energy isn't like through the roof or anything, but focus is good, so I would say my initial thoughts were to have a higher bar than the cheap pre-workout, but I'm feeling on par, if not better, than the other pre-workout thus far. But we will have to continue the workout and see how it goes. But we're gonna hit some seated cable flies for the chest right now, so let's get it. Alrighty guys, we are on the last back workout of today. So we are doing a kneeling single arm lat pull down variation, which I absolutely love. Crazy stretch, crazy contraction. I do 2 different back days. One day I will do this one where I do the Smith row and the single arm lat pull down, and then the other day I will do weighted pull-ups and a deficit pendulum row. Feeling good right now. I'm not feeling anything crazy though. My energy is not through the roof. My focus isn't through the roof. Don't get me wrong. I feel good. I feel locked in. I have plenty of energy. The pump is good. But I mean, yeah, that beta alanine is still lingering. So it's lingered much longer than the other pre-workout. But that's almost gone too. But I mean, we're feeling good. We're working out. It's nothing crazy, but not quite as good as I honestly expected it to be. And at this point right now, not twice as good. So is it worth twice the price? That's what we're here to find out. I like to put my opposite foot up against it and face my back away from it just so I can get the biggest stretch possible here. And then we just pull down as far as we can, go back up with as much control as we can. I get just overload this with a crazy amount of weight. Just get this crazy stretch, crazy contraction. Just feels so good. Alrighty guys, so we're at the tail end of this workout. We're about to hit some lying lateral raises with the cables. As of right now, a little weird, but I'm actually feeling more energized and more focused than I was like 30 minutes after taking the pre-workout. So I don't know if that's effect of that extended release caffeine kind of starting to kick in and starting to release a little bit, or whether that hasn't even started or whether that's completely gone. I have absolutely no idea. What I can tell you right now is that mood has improved, so that could be potentially affecting my focus and my energy, which has gone up. I don't know if I can 100% attribute that to the pre-workout, but I mean, that's how I'm feeling. I'm working out. The pump is increasingly getting better as we go. We're about to hit shoulders and do the overall rating for the pump, the energy, and the focus, and we'll see where everything lands. But right now we're feeling good. So energy and focus are on the rise right now, believe it or not, which was quite the opposite from the other one. I felt like my energy was dipping towards the end, and my energy's going up right now. So. Alrighty guys, last set of the workout. We're doing some rear delt cable flies, and we're gonna call it. So we're gonna hit this real quick and see how we're feeling. Still on the right track. Side note, for the first time in freaking months, nobody has parked on the side of my lawn, so I can actually edge it today, and it won't be overgrowing into the street. Adult things. Taste was pretty much on par with the other one. So let's talk about the pump, energy, and focus. What stood out to me the most, the difference between the two was, not surprisingly, the pump between the two. I worked out arms yesterday, and arms workout for me is essentially the best exercise to get a sick pump from. I didn't get a sick pump yesterday, and I felt like I pushed it pretty hard, so I should have gotten a sick pump. Question is, what would I rate it out of 5 for the pump? Just comparing it in general and trying not to compare it to the other pre-workout, I would have to say that this one is a 4 out of 5 on the pump. The pump was pretty juicy for being a chest, back, and shoulder workout. Could definitely feel it in the shoulders big time towards the end of the workout. You get that sense of like that skin tightening feeling when you know that something, you know that you're getting a sick pump. It's like when you're trying a new workout for the first time and you're like, oh wow, that's good. So I had that sense of feeling while I was doing it. So it gets a 4 out of 5 for the pump. So let's talk about energy and focus. And I'll be completely honest, I wasn't blown away in either of these categories with the rise loaded pre. What I will say is that it didn't have that big punch up front that I was kind of expecting. You know, it advertises over 300 milligrams of caffeine, but only 250 of that is being delivered in that initial burst, and then it's got another 75 that's an extended release. And honestly, I don't know if it's placebo or me just thinking about it in the process, but I didn't get that upfront punchy feeling, but I did feel like I had energy. I felt like I was focused, and that continued throughout the entire workout. And then towards the end, it even started to ramp up a little bit. The energy was good, and the fact that it continued throughout the entire workout is something that I really, really like. You don't want to be mid-workout and then have a big drop off of energy and feel like you don't want to do the rest of your workout. I felt more energized as the workout went through, and I was pushing harder and harder all the way until that last set. I would say if it had that nice big punch at the very beginning when I first drank the pre-workout of that big caffeine hit that I was really looking for and kind of expecting, then it would have been a perfect score. While I'd say the energy isn't perfect, the extended release is definitely having a big player in this. Being able to push really hard until that last set of the workout is carrying this thing. So I'm gonna give it 4.25 stars out of 5. I can't just give it 4 because I feel like it's better than that, but 4.5 sounds almost too good to be true. I really would like a little bit more punch up front with that energy and that initial kickoff, and I didn't really get that, so it's kind of but it was good. So let's talk about the focus. This one is kind of difficult for me because I feel like the first pre-workout that I took didn't have anything directed towards focus, and I feel like the Rise Loaded Pre does have some things in it that are directed towards focus, helping, you know, whatever brain activity might be up there. But honestly, I didn't really feel a lot of it. It's not that I didn't feel locked in and, you know, ready to do my workout and able to actually focus. It's just that it didn't feel any more apparent that I was locked in and focused or took anything to inhibit more focus than I did yesterday. And I was really looking for something to kind of give me that feeling, and I just didn't get it the entire time. I probably felt as good as I did yesterday. I was just hoping for a little extra, but I remembered I did really feel locked in and focused yesterday. So if it's on par with that, then it is probably doing pretty good. So as far as the focus goes, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Overall, I really enjoyed this pre-workout. It gave me good pump, good energy, good focus. It tasted pretty good. And to note, when I was drinking the very last little bit of the pre-workout, it was little grimy, got little pieces in there, but it was a much bigger scoop of pre-workout. So probably a more efficacious dose, if you will. But overall, I really enjoyed it. Is it a better deal than getting the budget pre-workout? That's the real question. We're gonna let some of these thoughts marinate over the next 24 hours and we'll give you guys an answer.
Did it rise to the occasion? 4 out of 5 stars.
After having some time to think about these 2 pre-workouts, I have some opinions. If you're somebody that doesn't really take pre-workout very often, then honestly, I think you can get away with a pretty cheap pre-workout. I still feel like I took pre-workout and I did get a benefit from taking it. But at this stage in my fitness journey, I'm okay with spending a couple extra dollars to get some more caffeine and a little extra boost for my workouts. One thing that I'll note about the 6-star pre-workout is that you can take 2 scoops of this pre-workout and get a similar amount of caffeine as the more expensive version. So you can buy cheap pre-workout, potentially take 2 scoops, and see if something a little bit stronger is worth your time and money. Overall, both of these pre-workouts get the job done. It just matters where your priorities are at. I'll definitely say that you can't count out Walmart the next time you're shopping for pre-workout. If you all enjoyed the video, click on one of the other videos on the screen. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.